right, so this is my third audio recording for uh, Transfer 8, Week 5. All right, so this last week was a pretty good one. It was a great one actually. But it was really long. It was it was a long week. But to start off the week on how do you say that? Tuesday. Tuesday was my hump day, my halfway point in the mission. Right. So because my mission's a little shorter than 2 years, because I'm speaking a foreign language and the way the transfers work out and all that. So even though I finish a year day after tomorrow, this last week was my halfway mark. And yeah, this week on Tuesday night, on Tuesday night, the secretaries from the mission came over and slept in our house because they had to do stuff for the visas here in Cutico. It was kind of cool to talk to them. Been a little while. It's been kind of lonely here in a house of two people instead of four. A little boring sometimes, but it's all right. Helps us stay focused, I guess. But it was nice to have somebody else in the house. And then Wednesday night we also had a visit from the assistants who came in and slept at our house that night as well, because we had our zone conference on Thursday. The zone conference was great. It was, let me think about what we even talked about the atonement of Jesus Christ, and what that means for us as missionaries, and what our investigators need to understand about that atonement in order to really be converted, and kind of the things that we need to do more specifically to access Christ's power in our life. And President Russell M. Nelson from the 12, he gave a great talk on that this last week, and not this last week, this last year in the last General Conference. And he talks a lot about what we can do to become not only more Christ-like, but come to have more of His power in our lives. And so that was cool. And then in the afternoon we talked about keeping the Sabbath day holy, and we brought less actives and investigators. Well, there were probably about 3 that actually made it, because it was at 3:00 in the afternoon on a Thursday, and so there weren't a lot of people who could come, and so there were 3 from both zones who were able to come out. But it was good. It was I don't know, the zone conferences always give a little bit of a boost, a little bit of energy. And on Friday, we did intercambios. We did exchanges with a sector here in the zone, which was fun. I was with other Christians and a gringo from Idaho Falls who's got about 5 weeks in the mission. The poor kid's still working hard at his Spanish, but he's a good guy. I had fun with him. It was great. That day we actually also had a pretty cool experience, because I've talked a little bit in my other letters about the Eye of Faith and how the Eye of Faith works, and we got to kind of apply that day, because in our planning we'd set the goal to find 3 new investigators, and we needed to find those 3 new investigators to be able to meet our weekly goal. And we went out and we were working all day, and about 9 o'clock at night, which means we had basically we needed to get into the house pretty quick there, and we had 1 street left to contact that we really had time for. And so we said a prayer and basically said, listen, like, Father in heaven, we know that this goal was inspired, and we need these 3 new investigators to meet our goal. Please guide us and help us to find these 3 news. So right after that, like the second or third house we contacted, it was a family of 3, and they let us come in. And we had actually contacted their son, who we didn't know it was his house, he was upstairs at the time that we contacted the mom, but the son we had contacted in the street one day, and he hadn't really given us his address or anything because they're Seventh-day Adventists and they're pretty firm in that. But we'll see if we can help them out there. But that was really cool because we just barely said that prayer, asking specifically for three new investigators, and right away we found exactly three, and we were able to meet the goal for the day in the last minute. And that's not the first time that's happened recently. It's been really cool. We've had a lot of experiences like that with finding new people. We've set a goal, my companion and I, to find at least one new person every day in the change, and we're on our fourth week in a row doing that. And I've never been able to do that, and I've honestly never seen anybody else who's been able to do that. And so it's been pretty cool to be able to work with all these new people. The work now is getting them to progress and to come to church and to actually be baptized. But you got to start somewhere. Also this week we had, as a zone, a few baptisms. We had 3 baptisms. We had kind of a crazy experience with that too. The sisters from our ward had a baptism, and they had 2. And the hermana that was going to be baptized, she had asked me to baptize her, but she had also talked with the president and had asked permission for him to send to allow another missionary to come from another zone, to, like, the missionaries that had found her, to come back and baptize her, right? And that's normally a pretty big no because then we'd have all kinds of elders traveling from one side of the mission to the other. But the night before the baptism, or 2 nights before, it was like Saturday morning. President called us first thing in the morning and was like, "Listen, I've been up since 3 a.m. and basically had an inspirational experience that and he said that he needed to that these other elders who had found this hermana needed to baptize her." And so they came down for the baptism yesterday, which was kind of cool. It was kind of different. And the president was there as well. It was kind of a different experience. I don't know why that was what needed to happen, but I'm sure it was what needed to happen. So it was kind of interesting to see that. And so yeah, as a zone, this change has been awesome. I don't remember what I had written in my last letter, but we're having a lot of baptisms as a zone, which is awesome. It's great. Right now we've had 7 baptisms in the change, and we're almost guaranteed to have another 3 or 4, which an average amount of baptisms in a zone, including this one, is between 0 and 3 baptisms. And so the fact that we have 7 already, and that we might have 10 before the end of the change is incredible. Almost every sector is going to have a baptism this change, so that's pretty awesome. Today we're gonna have a pretty fun little activity. We'll see if I can grab some pictures, but we found a jiu-jitsu instructor who I talked to him and told him that I had done some martial arts also before the mission, and we got him to accept to give us a class for the zone. Woo! It's gonna be so that's gonna be pretty sweet. Hopefully nobody breaks an arm or anything. It should be pretty light, pretty chill, I guess would be the word. Some tranquilo, and so yeah, that'll be fun. So we're doing that today. I've been a little, not sick. I don't know how I could get even a little bit sick though, with all the vitamins that my family sent, and I've been taking them every day, but I've got got a bit of a sore throat and a plugged up nose, but it's all good. I'll be be all right. It's just because I've been talking a lot, spreading the gospel a lot, so it's worth the pain, worth the trouble. So yeah, to finish off for today, just wanted to share a scripture that we're going to be sharing with the zone, because there are a few elders and sisters in the zone who are a little bit discouraged, I guess would be the word, and and we're going to share with the zone today this scripture, and I really liked it, and the way that my companion had phrased this. That's in 2 Timothy 4, verse 7, and it says, "I have fought a good fight, I have finished my course, and I have kept the faith." And I like to look at that and think of it as a question. Right? Have I fought the good fight? Have I finished my course? And have I kept the faith? Just something that all of us can be asking ourselves this week. Yeah, so I love you guys. Take care. Have a good week.